4 hours, $300,000, one murder case. And by the end, Candace Owens still couldn't prove Israel shot Charlie Kirk. That's not me being cute. That's literally what happened on August 14th. So what was this actually about? Charlie Kirk was assassinated in 2025. Tyler Robinson, 23 years old, got charged with aggravated murder. Candace Owens spent months saying the official story doesn't add up. Robinson's a patsy. The whole thing got booked because Wilson went on Joe Rogan and put 300 grand on the table. Pay Candace to defend her theories in public, on camera, with someone who actually knows how to cross-examine. Bet David moderated. Millions watched within hours. And Wilson opened by saying overwhelming just means convincing, and he finds the state's case convincing. Texts, DNA, witnesses, confessions stacking on each other. Owens wasn't there for reasonable doubt. She'd claimed there's more evidence Robinson was framed than evidence he. Wilson also dropped what he called never-before-seen messages. Charlie Kirk texting his security team on September 9th, 2025, saying law enforcement was lined up for an event and reminding them they were there for one person's security only, because he. Then they got into the weeds, and this is where Owens kept running into a wall Wilson built, brick by brick. She'd point at degraded fingerprints, procedural weirdness, hearsay at the preliminary hearing. Wilson kept asking the same question over and over, like a prosecutor who'd had. Owens argued Utah's preliminary hearing ran on reliable hearsay. Witnesses quoting witnesses, Patrick told me this, Patrick's not here, and that most of it won't survive at trial. Fair legal point, actually. Wilson didn't deny the trial hasn't happened. He said he's judging what's been presented so far, and it still points. The funniest, and I mean that in the darkest way, part of the whole debate is Wilson slowly backing Owens into admitting her patsy theory doesn't actually follow from the anomalies she's been selling. At one point she says she didn't say it equals patsy. She said it. Then we hit the Israel section, the reason half the internet tuned in. Wilson asked directly, "Do you have positive evidence Israel killed Charlie Kirk?" Owens said, and I'm quoting her, "I couldn't say Israel was on the ground and shot and killed Charlie Kirk." Read that again. Months of insinuation, unnamed sources. And because this debate couldn't get more unhinged, the French Foreign Legion showed up. Owens said a source told her they were on the ground that day. Wilson asked her to defend it. She said she'd already said it and he just didn't like hearing it. That's not a rebuttal. Owens also went after Erica Kirk and Turning Point insiders, phone calls, lawyers who hadn't seen evidence the public hadn't seen, nervous executives. Wilson framed it as ghoulish profiteering off a dead man's name. Owens framed it as unanswered questions the institution won't touch. I'm not. The lowest moment, and honestly the most telling, was Wilson noticing Owens glance at her phone before a question and asking if someone texted her the prompt. She handed the phone to Bet David on the spot. Check it. No messages about the case, no producers feeding lines. Owens said she didn't need. So, who won? Wrong question. Wilson got the concession that matters for anyone pretending Owens had a smoking gun on Israel. She doesn't. Owens got Wilson to stop treating every loose thread like it proves a lone leftist shooter with zero institutional blind spots. What actually happened is simpler than the conspiracy stack. Two influencers with opposite incentives finally collided on a case that's still in court. Tyler Robinson hasn't been tried yet. The state hasn't proven beyond a reasonable doubt in front of a jury. Owens raised real procedural. If you walked in Team Candace, you got a show. If you walked in Team Andrew, you got a show. If you walked in wanting truth about who killed Charlie Kirk, you got 4 hours of two people proving they're very good.